If the good Lord made anything better, he kept it for himself.
Better than coochie?
Shit, coochie the best thing in the world.
I don't know about that.
I know about that. That's because you don't deal with that. I'm the boss hog of coochie.
Lord, I'm
Shit,
you
that
mean
song
the
they
retired boss hog?
Listen, no, ain't retired, man. Is you crazy? Listen, don't let nobody fool you, baby. Once you get the right dose of that coochie, can't nobody tell you shit.
Y'all heard old school dropping some of that good wisdom. I'm Chris the Rebel. I so greatly appreciate you for tuning in to another live stream. As you know, we do these every Saturday at 10 p.m. And I greatly appreciate y'all for pulling up. Now, obviously, this discussion right here is going to be a little bit of some grown folks talk. You heard me. I mean, we're going to try to keep it as much PG as we can with our wording. So, as you, because it's open panel. So, when I open the panels up, let's just try to keep with our words and stuff and to articulate ourselves, so to say, because this is a subject that I believe is going to catch a lot of people's attention and something that I think we avoid discussing as men. So the first thing that I initially come to, right, is that many times, if you watched my live stream yesterday, I was speaking about how a woman's VJ or her box and her mind, they're connected together. And I don't think a lot of us as men, we understand that. We seem to, get upset with the women, so to say. We blame it on a lot of different other things and not really understanding that those two things go together. It's a type of thing we have to respect. You always hear several content creators speak of how every woman has one. So, it's just different talking points that we keep hearing. And I'm not really liking them, honestly. And this is what this stream is for. So right now, I'm kind of like coming in cool, but I'm really about to turn up in a few moments or so, to say, to really get my point across to what I am speaking about. Now, one thing that we do know about the female biology is that the anatomy is different from a male, and there are several points within a woman that turn them on. Hormones, all these different things are things that women have to deal with. For some strange reason, as men, we keep dismissing these emotions and these hormones, and we're not actually trying to wrap our mind around how these particular things work. And in many of the times, as men, you are slaves to the emotions of a woman, and so to say, in many parts. Not saying, it ain't different levels, but that's the point we're going to speak about, the levels that I'm talking about. Now, obviously, we're in 1950s anymore, fellas. We're not in 1920s anymore. So when I say that, I'm saying that you got to understand that no longer is it cool to just be the 5-stroke special. That's what I named it. I have a video about it called Understand the Box, right? And the first initial phase that many men are in is the 5-stroke special, meaning that at the end of the day, you 5 strokes and you out. Many of us experience this as teenagers, all different kind of stuff, right? That's just what it is. It's a phase. I'm not saying some men probably still there. Some men surpass it. I'm not here to judge. Not yet, so to say, to judge. But it may come. But the point that I'm trying to make, right, is that we continuously keep talking about the body count. And how does the body count get ran up? Obviously by men, right? So if men are running up the body count, then why is it that only 9 out of 10 women are having an orgasm, according to the statistics? It don't make no sense. So that's why I'm beginning to ask this question. When I ask the women, which I know the answer ultimately because I've been administering therapy for long before, I came to YouTube and stuff like that, right? So I already know the answer to this question, but what I'm trying to see is what men are going to be willing to listen to this and not just come up with talking points about why this shouldn't matter and all of this and all of that. I guess back in the old days, in the Bible times, so to say, that the women didn't have an opinion who really care about these things, whether they like it or not. But there's certain scriptures within it showing that women did like it. But either way, here nor there, many times in these talking points, this is something that's being confused, right? So I have two particular archives, two particular guys, two particular architects, two particular guys. Now, the first particular guy, right? He's your player, so to say. Player, fuckboy, whatever. That's the particular guy who has the results of having a lot of women liking him. The women argue over him, fight over him, all those different things. I didn't see that comment that came up, actually. I'm sorry. Hey, how you doing, Lotus? How you doing? Yeah, I'm here with a good live stream for you today where we really having a grown folks conversation. Hey, Black Beauty. I appreciate y'all for coming in. But we having a grown folks conversation. Hey, Just Jay. I appreciate you coming in. We having a grown folks conversation right now where for at least the first 30 minutes of this live stream, I'm just going to be giving a little grown folks talk because I think that a lot of men, and I know that you ladies have been on panels and listened to them, that they're avoiding this conversation. You've heard it before. The woman's orgasm doesn't matter. All of these different talking points that many of the men are talking about, right? So I'm asking the question, does that equate to women's happiness? I believe that it does in a lot of standpoints. And I think that, I'm not going to hold women much to task because I have plenty of points that I want to push about how men have to be more experienced. But I will say that you don't do yourself service as women when you downplay how important that is. You know what I'm saying? When women be like, well, that don't really matter. D don't really matter. That don't matter. And then it pushes a narrative for some guys to be able to be like, well, shoot, I guess it don't matter because the women are always hollering. It is, it don't really matter. And I think it could be some stuff that we'll talk about later when I open the panel up. I know there's different reasons for that. We'll get into that. But I have two different archetypes, right? Because basically what I'm saying is that women, your mind and y'all's box works together. They have a specific combination. Now, the man who can figure out the combination to both the box and the mind, like he have y'all in a whole different stratosphere that can't be explained. And I think women feel this from time to time. Maybe it's the first love, maybe it's whatever. It's that euphoric feeling. I mean, it's scientifically proven that women experience euphoria when they're entered by a man who they truly love. Like they have a bunch of research on all of this different stuff of showing with the headgear on the woman and the man, showing how when a woman is truly really in love with the man, how much her kinetics and stuff begin to spark and light up. And as they were explaining the dopamine effects, they were literally saying it. Yeah, it goes together. And as I was saying, with the neurological things they had on the women and the men, it was showing how, like, when men climaxed, like that was our highest euphoria. But throughout the whole process, the woman's euphoria was like always steady or steadily increasing the more and more as, it got passionate. And which goes into my narrative, of which I believe that women are naturally freakier than men have ever thought about being. Like we think that we some freaks and all of that, but compared to what's in the woman's mind on what y'all be wanting to do, is nothing compared. That's just my opinion. Maybe when we open the panel up, y'all can tell me if I'm right, wrong, indifferent. We'll figure that out. But overall, there's two particular dudes that I'm speaking of, right? So the first dude that I was speaking of is a player or the fuck boy. I mean, this particular guy, he has the experience with the woman. He has the talking. He's charismatic. He understands all these different things, right? And on top of that, he may not really be taking you seriously as a woman, but he has all of the things that you would like. Even in the bedroom, he has the same thing. Hand placement is where it needs to be. He understands to touch certain areas and touch certain spots. His hands are always busy. He's not just on top of you. As I say, which the second phase is the backbreaker phase, where most men are just in a phase of backbreaking where they just literally want a 50, 60, 70, 80 pumps. And then he ain't trying to hit nowhere. He's not trying to see what he's doing. He's not trying to, work the strokes and stuff. He's just literally just trying to pound. Some women like that, but from what I've heard, most women like a little mixture or whatever. But this is where this guy is at in this phase. These particular guys, he understands all of those things. He understands backbreaking and understands love making, hand placement, all these different things. This particular guy is the ones that make women very upset, because if he actually really does like you and wants to be with you and all those different things, right, then it actually works out as a good story. But if he don't want to be with you and he was just doing it for sport, because sometimes players have that for sport, then it can end badly and the woman can be upset and all this different stuff, because he actually laid a mark. He set a mark somewhere, right? And that's just part of the things that a lot of us as men, we don't want to have that discussion amongst each other, or even with women on the panel, where we literally just want to dismiss this discussion that women enjoy sex just as much as men do. We're in modern times now, and it seems that there's a Pacific phase, right, that I think a lot of men are in. I honestly think men are in this phase, right? I call it the prom queen phase. The prom queen phase. Now, I want you to see this clip right here that I got for you. This is the prom queen phase. You see this? Hub, as we get it together. Can you blow it up big screen for me, please? I need you to see this right here. You see this? This is the prom queen phase. Just hold on as we get the technicals together. I just want you to see it. You see how he's crying? You see the tears in his eyes? Do you see that? You see how he see his beautiful wife coming down the aisle, right? He can't even control himself. He literally has the tears running down his eyes. I want to run this back for you so you can see it one more time. Now look at the beautiful chapel. Look at it. You see the being brought up by the woman. I think it's supposed to be the father, but we don't let that go. We ain't really concerned about that. But you see how, look at him. He can't control himself. See, some men that are married, you're right here. This is where you at, right here in the same spot. I know, Chris, I've been married for 12 years. I've been married for 10 years. I get all that. I get that. But you still right here in this phase, right here. Where, see, you see the woman as the noble queen, the noble wife who, she ain't never, ever wanted to be, what I'm saying, with you over the top of her, rubbing her head while you just thrusting the esophagus. She don't like that type of stuff. You just would look at her so differently because she would want you to do that to her esophagus. You're not thinking that women are curious and that they want to try new things and that they want to be like very interested in even more. They kind of like cats, where the cat loves to have things that interests its mind and it studies things for hours. See, no. See how you looking? You can't even look her in the eyes. See, you got to hug her. You can't even look her in the eyes. Can't even do it. You just look at it, so overwhelmed. You're like, man, this woman she's just so pure to me. She's so pure. She's so pure that I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't bring myself to just to even think that she even wants anything like that, bro. I'm just saying. I'm keeping it very PG, but I'm trying to say that's the point that I'm making. Many women want those type of affairs, but men, they are so confused and so into patriarchy and all of the different things that they talk as talking points here on these platforms, right? They're so in the mix of that, and they're not looking at women are human just like we human. Sometimes when the woman cheated on you, it wasn't because the guy was better. Sometimes she just wanted some different, the same way men do. Like, why we keep, what I'm saying, making it to be anything other than what it is? And then when women try to act like that's not what it is, then we can't never have genuine conversations. That'd be the other part too. That the small percentage that women play the blame in is that you're not willing to really just say what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's the only part. But mainly it's a lot of men who want to avoid this conversation. So then it makes me wonder, right? Makes me wonder, like, where does it that these men add up in these particular things? See, I know just from me giving therapy to women and men for like 6 years, relationship therapy, marriage therapy, all that different stuff, right? From me doing that, a lot of times this has a major role in it that many men are not paying attention to. They're not paying attention. They think that, as I said yesterday, if you were in my live stream, the man just get on top of me, he just do his business, and then after that, I just go to sleep and make him a sandwich. And that's that. Like, that's what many men are believing. It don't work that way. Not no more. The women already in the old days talked about it in the salon and stuff, but now the salon are these websites. Now the salon are these chat rooms. Now the salon are these different spots. And that's partially why I believe that a lot of the men are jealous of Pookie and Ray Ray. See, because Pookie and Ray Ray actually have this understanding down. Like, they may not have the financial part all together the way he need to be and all of that, but the particular part about hand placement, knowing what to do, listening to the woman, all of those different things, he actually has that down. So I don't understand why some men can't look at what Pookie's doing and don't have the attributes of not working and having a woman take care of you, but actually using some of the attributes that he has to get to the woman, and then also using the attributes that he already has as being successful and putting those two things together. I don't see how men can't do that. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe somebody can come on and tell me why I'm wrong with this. But these are the particular things that I'm seeing that I believe is a problem. I think a lot of men are angry on these platforms strictly for the reason that I just think they don't know what they're doing. Because you notice, you ask every man on every panel, right? Every man on every panel will say that he's the man. But then the statistics say that not every man's a man. Then y'all have a different results of why it doesn't show that you really be the man in those particular realms of things, because that does matter. Like, I don't understand as men why we keep trying to let other men who say that doesn't matter, let them get away with that, so to say. It's bothering me. I can't allow it no more. I can't stomach it no more. Like, I be listening to all these streams. Well, she go after this guy and he ain't got this and he ain't got that. Bro, it's levels to this shit. The certain particular guys that can get away with those particular things understand some things. Now, does that mean that it is a one size fit all? No, because the woman's mind, as I said earlier, is like a combination. So it steadily keeps clicking and changing. So you can't just use that particular part of the eggplant to bring happiness, but don't bring other things with it. It can last for a minute. I can agree with that to a certain extent, that it is. But many of the men, as I keep listening to, right, I just keep hearing them talk about it as if women's pleasure isn't happy and y'all just pretty much along for the ride just to bury their kids. You know what I'm saying? They are very bitter. And I keep listening to so much of the bitterness, and it's starting to bother me. Yeah, it is real sad. And I'm just like, bro, like, do you not understand? Like, this is what I be saying. They say, well, if the apocalypse happens, so to say, right, Lotus, they'll believe in their minds that y'all will literally go and be with them now, not understanding the pathology of how women have been since the beginning of time. They go with the strongest, richest male who has the most resources and most things. So that means that most likely Pookie and Ray Ray, those particular guys will probably have 27 wives, not the weak guy who's bitter and complaining. He probably will have no woman or end up being a slave to the Pookie or the Ray Ray, so to say. But that'll probably go over their head. But those who understand exactly what it was that I said when I said that. But at the end of the day, that's what I see. I see many a times the married man with the noble bride complex, where that's what he sees the woman as, not willing to evolve in these specific things, looking at women as pure, which in some standpoints you are, but you still have a curious nature to yourselves that you have to somewhat adhere to because you are curious. And if you don't interact with your curiosity, it does bother y'all in some stretch and fashion, so to say, just because of how curious you are. It's been proven over in history, like I said, with the Bible, with Greek mythology, even Hindu mythology stories that begin with anything with creation that has the woman and the man, and it always displays the woman's curiosity as the reason why many of times the things happen. It wasn't literally like the woman literally had an evil nature. It was more or less just curiosity. That is what the balance is, where me as a man, I'm not all the time going to be as curious. If any curiosity comes, it's most likely going to be because a woman who I love or value or whatever presents something to me to be curious about. Most men don't go out venturing to look for anything curious, while women do that. And that's partially why I made this live stream, is just for men to try to understand that you cannot conquer the curiosity. You can't conquer it. There's only several ways that we can do it. You can either understand the curiosity or you can cultivate the curiosity. There's only two methods that is going to go. And at the end of the day, many of the times our relationships are ended or go awry because we don't cater to that curiosity that women have. Many of the times, many men complain about. That's why I was speaking about with the wedding thing earlier, where I showed the wedding videos, because a lot of men, as I hear on the platforms that are married, complain about, when I'm married, I don't get a lot of conjugal marriage, vows. I don't get that. That's what many men's complaints are. But partially the complaint comes from because you don't create any curiosity, you don't create any interest, you don't keep it interesting. And that's why I always say that I appreciate it. What's up, Daryl? And that's why I was saying I don't really see how men don't understand the importance of that. You have to have that part laid down. I mean, you can collect so many bodies, but you're literally not laying down any type of framework for the bodies that you're gaining, to where you literally can take that experience in with a woman. That's why I always say, right? And I want some women to come on and challenge this. I want you to challenge me on this. I say this all the time. Only one party has to be expensive, has to be the experienced one in the bedroom. Only one party. Only I have to be. As a woman, if you decide to, learn freaky stuff, learn how to do the got 4,000, learn how to keep it super wet like the tsunami and all of that. I get all of that. But none of that matters if I can only do a 5-stroke special. And for those of y'all who tuned in, that's the first official phase that I say that men are in whenever they are deciding to do the horizontal poker. It's 5-stroke special. And any man who says that he ain't ever did that is full of shit. All men, first time you ever did it, you at least had 3 to 5 pumps and you was out. And some men continuously stay on that path. Now, the men that graduate, who learn how to calm himself down, discipline himself, really like breathe and remain focused and all of those different things. Yeah, they thought a bunch of stuff that's not gonna happen. The funny thing about that, Black Beauty, is that many of the men don't understand that women make up the voting power. So therefore, if they make the voting power up, the powers that be are going to make sure they cater to the women's needs, because they know those are the ones that are going to put them in office, because it's not even enough men to even if all the men in America voted right now, it's still not enough to sway any election. So that's partially why they really don't listen to what men are talking about anyways. But that's a whole nother story for something else. But yeah. At the end of the day, this is what we got going on. A bunch of men who are complaining. And in my opinion, I believe that it got something to do with you ain't rocking these women's worlds the way that y'all be claiming that y'all be doing it. And because if you did, you wouldn't have this many complaints and gripes about everything the women do. All I know is women that have multiple orgasms or know they can get one at any given time don't have a problem making no man's plate. I ain't never seen it in my life. I never ever once seen it in my life of women that I know be coming all the time, not having a man's plate, not bringing him something to drink, whether it's Pepsi, Coke, Kool-Aid, water, don't matter. I ain't never seen that shit before. But these are specific things that we seeing. And I'm getting tired of it because we kind of want to bring it to, well, it's her baby daddy and this, that, and the third. No, we ain't talking about all that. We talking about this particular point right here. Men are supposed to conquer the energy of their women. Period. You ain't doing that. I think it partially got something to do with that. Maybe you wasn't the guy for her. Maybe she just didn't get Niagara Falls for you. Maybe that's just what it is. And she's scared to tell you that because you're a man. You might get all beast mode on her and want to slap on her and beat on her because that's what I'll be saying on these platforms. If you say it in front of my face, I'll slap you. So maybe that's possibly why she don't tell you the truth, because every time you get upset, you'll want to slap her. Maybe that's why you don't know anything. Maybe a lot of these content creators we're listening to, maybe they possibly like to slap their women. And maybe that's why we don't never really hear, these perspectives. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just asking. Because these are the particular things that we get on their platform. But when we're over here, as you noticed yesterday, we sit up and we listen to the women talk and allow them to break down these particular points and really try to understand their perspective. At the end of the day, it's no longer whatever the male says is what it is. Now, if you're a respected male amongst her whose words she values, then yeah, you may have that type of dynamic with her. But if it's not there, you don't got that. It's just what it is. And partially, a lot of the problems I believe that men have going on is that I don't think there's a lot of healthy orgasms going on for women. Like I said already, 9 out of 10 women, it's confirmed, do not have an orgasm. So no wonder a lot of these women are just like, you know what, I'm gonna be celibate. Because half of y'all not even hitting the mark. Then you got the nerve to literally tell me, Christopher, and all of the other guys on the platforms that understand how to please a woman, you telling all of us that you want multiple women? You really be messing the game up for a lot of the men who be thinking like that. Just because of you literally wanting to be greedy when you ain't even got no rights to be greedy. How can you be greedy when you can't even feed the needy that you already got? What? Boy, I tell you, man. Ah, for real. I'll just be honest. I ain't reading the comments, but I bet there's some laughs in the comments. But that's just what it is, though. I already know. That's why they can't never get a genuine conversation. That's why a lot of the stuff they say sounds very ignorant and doesn't make much sense to many of us. It's particularly because of that. They always threaten y'all. They always got something to say. You can't never tell them about the type of things you like and how curious you are as a woman because you'll be judged by them. That's partially why a lot of men don't get the different things they get because the woman is concerned. You like, why you just didn't tell me, babe, that you like that type of way of doing it? I could have been doing that. Why? Because if I were to come and ask you, you the type that's gonna judge me. Why you like that? Who taught you that? Who told you to put your leg up like that? Who told you that who's the guy that stood over you and did you like that in the mouth in your esophagus? Who did that? That's your questioning. That's your line of questioning, rather than you enjoying that, hey, the guy whoever taught her that, he didn't get to reap the benefits of what he taught, but he taught it for his time and let me just take advantage of my time. Instead of you thinking like that, no. You want to know who did it, who taught her that, can you fulfill that, all of this different shit. And this is partially the problem. This is partially all the problems. I know that there's just some guys gonna come up trying to disagree with me. I can't wait till you fucking do. I got plenty of things I ain't even mentioned yet for any of these guys that's gonna come up disagreeing with what I'm saying about right now. Because Kevin Samuels got y'all confused and letting y'all think that, well, it's a vagina comes standing on every woman, so it just is what it is. Well, that doesn't matter if you don't know what you're doing to the vagina that comes standard to you. Then what does that matter? You're going to end up back in the same position. You think that women are now going to sit around here with all the social media and all this different stuff that they get to see, and you think they just going to go without? And you ain't even rich, and you ain't got no money, and you ain't extra handsome? Bruh, please. Yeah, but that's how it's supposed to be. And women respect men with the honesty. If men actually bring along honesty to women, because y'all naturally curious, you will consider it. Not saying that it's where you will actually go along with it, but you will literally sit down in your mind and figure out how you can play it in your lifestyle. And that's any man that you love and respect. If that man that you love and respect comes to you like a man would do and sit you down and tell you whatever it was that he was thinking about what he wanted relationship wise or a new girlfriend or whatever. I'm not saying every woman's for that, but you would at least consider it and then be like, I'm not with that. Like, if that's what you want to do, then we're going to have to break up. That's what some women are going to say. And then some women love the man enough to say, okay, or whatever. These are all things that at the end of the day, many men, hell no, nope, I ain't, nope, I'm not doing it. There ain't no other man finna be with my woman. But it's something that women will literally sit back and think about. But I'm not saying whether it's right nor wrong. It's not anything I can judge. But these are just the particular things that I'm saying. That if men are literally honest and upfront, and we start having upfront conversations, then the upfront conversation will be that this is part of the reason why a lot of y'all's relationships is messed up and why a lot of you are angry online. And some of the content creators that are sitting on panels with you that host them don't want to be fucking real with you and tell you, bro, like Kevin Samuels did to that one dude, and everybody keep highlighting it where he like, do you got a big dick? Although everybody try to shame him and tell him to say pause when he said it, but it literally was a good conversation because like, bro, you got all these problems, but do you even have that part added down? Because that shit fucking matters. But as men, we shame other men when we try to bring this into the equation. Well, y'all just want to be some player game type dudes who don't really know nothing about this and that and the third and whining and complaining, rather than no, that's what the fuck it is. Women want to come. That's what they want to do. Sorry that you have to hear it that way. Hell, your mama wanted to come. My mama told me straight up that women want to come. I don't know that what type of mamas is raising y'all where they don't tell y'all that. I'm not saying you got to tell it as vulgar as my mama said it, but my mama's from New York, so she ain't finna do all that capping and try to make it nice. They're gonna just tell you what it is because that's how Eastern people from the East Coast are. So I understand them. But that's what she said. And that's just facts. So I've been talking for like 33 minutes. I'm gonna open the panel up now. So because I'll be going all day on this shit and I won't let anybody else get no input on it. You know what I'm saying? So the panel is open. You know what I'm saying? This shit just bothering me, everybody, like for real. Like I keep hearing all these circular ass conversations about well, if she vetted better and if she was this and if she was that. Well, the reason why she didn't vet better because it was some dude probably dicking her the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? Just be honest. Let's just be honest here and just start calling the real shit. Sometimes you was making the mistakes you was making because he was dicking you down. And it's important and it matters. And that if the guys are gonna go out here and preach, going out here and freely having intercourse with every woman you want because you're a high value man, so to say, right? Then in the same breath, say that you're supposed to be learning something from those experiences. You're supposed to be like a high class warrior, so to say, where every time you go to battle, you learn something new every single time. So that when you do settle down and get married, like the dude right there that I showed y'all earlier that was getting married, where when you do get married, you can practice all of that stuff that you did over all those times that you are now turned away from, that you can do those same things to that woman. Because many of the times, this is why there be sexist marriages. See, there's a lot of content creators that point towards a woman and say that's what it is and no and all that, but that's not actually true. The older women get, the more nastier women get, and the more they want to experience things, the older they get. See, that is another talking point that many of you fellas don't understand because most of y'all don't mess with older women. And if you say that you do, then you know that this is a fact that older women want to experience and do different things because women are curious in nature. So most of the time they be like, I was a square back when I was in my 20s and 30s, and I ain't really do this, that, and the third. So when I'm in this age, I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna try that. But most of the time, women want to be classy, so they say, when I get a man, I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna try that because I never did it. But that's only if they can find a man that's actually open-minded enough and with emotional intelligence, what y'all say y'all men don't like, emotional intelligence, right? The man who has that and insane cannot shame her for wanting to experience those things. That be the thing. Because see, the men on these spaces, they don't tell you that part, that they actually shame the woman when she literally thinks that way. That they're like, oh, well, why you want to do that? And who told you how to do that? Where you seeing that at? These are questions men ask. I know you think what? You think I'm shooting over my head? You think I'm just saying this because I'm just, just saying it because I'm the simp guy or because I'm trying to be right? Because I'm Mr. Right? Is that what you think it is? No, this is just real what it is. Plenty of women face this every day. And at the end of the day, when we try to have these discussions as men, when women actually try to bring it up, men run from that conversation. They run from it. They literally be like, I don't want to talk about this. Let's talk about something else. Every time women bring up these particular dynamics about how important it is for men to master that particular part, we think about, to me, talking about production, talking about provision, talking about all of those different things, right? That could be all fine and dandy, but those are things that's supposed to already be first nature to men anyway. So, like, for me to even bring up all that you got to do outside in the world to provide for your family, those are things that we're supposed to do anyways as men. So it's like, why do we have to discuss that as being one of the primary things? The next thing is primary is about the inside of the house. The inside of the house is very important. The inside of a man's household tells a lot about him. See, if you have your household in order, then me and men who I hang around and do business with, we all see a stable man who keeps his house in order, whether that means he has 2 wives in his house, he got 15 kids in his house. It doesn't matter. What we see is that his house is always in order every single time that we ever deal with him, have an encounter with him, or we may keep him over at long nights because we're discussing business or whatever. It's things that may take hours to discuss and get across to whatever we're trying to do or whatever goal we're trying to accomplish. And he doesn't literally have a wife or literally has children that keeps bothering him every second, every moment of the day. He's proving his household's in order. So then that therefore he can be put in positions to where he can do things with us. These are the particular things that we think about as men, especially men that get put in real positions to where they got real people around them, where real money counts and you're impacting lives and generational lives. These things actually matter. What's up, Black Beauty?
Hey, boo, how are you?
I'm good. What you up to?
Nothing.
What you think about the conversation so far?
Cool. Just
Hmm.
having, of course, some dialogue in the chat and then also up here as well. So
Right.
things got
Yeah, I'm just.
intertwined, but yeah, but it was cool.
What do you think when guys say the female orgasm doesn't matter?
When God says that?
No, guys say that here on social media. I don't think God ever said nothing like that, but men say
No,
that.
okay,
They
I
be like,
misunderstood you. I thought you said God. I was like, wait, what?
"No, that was men." It'd be a lot of men on here that be like, pretty much all
Oh,
they
you
good for
said
nothing but
God.
making us. Yeah, they ain't pretty much good for nothing but making a sandwich and having their babies.
Okay, so yeah, guys. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that before a little bit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Women are quite different. Every woman is different. It's important to some women, some not. Um, I don't know. Some I feel like it's not as important, I guess, but the next woman could say something totally different. I guess it just depends on your experience
Do you
and
think that? Do you think that's a possibility that it's not important because some women may not encounter the man who really cared enough to like make sure she was pleased and happy, so to say?
no, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like I said, we talked about this once before. It definitely women, for example, when women cheat,
Mm-hmm.
men get more mad because it's more emotional.
True.
It's something behind it.
Facts.
Men can cheat with anybody and everybody, it doesn't matter.
That's very true.
So women are quite different. So when we have that emotional connection with somebody, it's, oh my goodness, it's from another world.
I can
It's like
understand
off
that.
the charts. And we can probably shit, we can give you the best sex of your life
I
when
know.
we're into it.
And that's what I was basically breaking down earlier before y'all came in. I was explaining how scientists have proven that it's euphoric for women. Like when they're in love with a man, when they're in a good space with the man, it's very euphoric how they can feel for the man, how they can just, like their mind just make everything, what I'm saying, tingly, so to say.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is to
And a
me.
lot of men, right? But I think to you, and I think a lot of women that will come on later will also be able to understand where you're coming from. And I just think that most men do not understand how that goes together. So when you complaining, when you always mad at women, always saying these different things you're saying, when women say, "I'm getting dried up because I'm listening to this," like it's connected, so it's not a lie. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I also need men to stop thinking that just because they could sit there, pick at fights and I mean start fights and do things and pick at us and then want to have sex after.
Nah, yeah,
A lot of
they ain't
women are
happy.
not into that.
Yeah, it
Like
ain't
that's
happening.
not no, like I almost feel like that's kind of toxic. But I mean if you're into that, you're into that. I have nothing to do with it. But me myself, you piss me off, don't expect shit that night. I'm
A
mad.
lot of women are like that, and I agree. But some
I'll
guys
go to
that
sleep
do,
next to you, but I'm not. Wait, don't touch me.
but it's some guys like myself, I think I might talk you into, what I'm saying, even though you mad,
A lot of men think they can, but that don't mean you can.
true. But
That don't mean that.
we be thinking you mad, but I'm gonna talk you into it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, sometimes a woman could be like, "Stop playing," like leave me alone, like that, and do all that, and then finally be like, "Okay, I love you," I love your stupid ass. But
True.
sometimes women are just like, no, like if you push her like too much, a woman could be like, nah, like fuck you, nigga, you like you ain't on the couch. Don't touch me.
Mm. Men be going to the couch for real?
Hell yeah.
What? Damn, men going outside like they go to the couch. Damn.
Yeah, that doghouse is real.
And ladies in the chat, if you ever put a man in a doghouse and made him sit on the couch, I gotta see the dog that the house chats, the house emojis. Call it. Ah, men be going to the couch for real. Damn.
Yes, man will. And if the man won't, then the woman will definitely get up and be like, okay, well, if you're not gonna go, I'm gonna go. And either way, somebody going. But yeah. And
Is
me,
that
I ain't getting
serious?
up. I'm not getting on no couch. If I gotta be like, in like younger ages where parents used to put pillows in between kids and shit. Like if I got to put a pillow in between
Oh, so you
and be
like to be
like, don't
petty?
cross this, then don't.
Oh, you like being
No,
petty?
no, that's not petty. That's being really pissed off.
I'm saying that's petty though.
Really, really pissed off.
You gonna set up a pillow for it, like oh boy on baby boy.
I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, I would be pissed. Like, yeah, if I'm pissed, like, don't cross this boundary. And I'm telling you, because you gonna get kicked right in your shit. Like, don't test me. Just leave me alone for the night, and we good. We good.
So you doing the
We
pillow
good.
for it?
Huh?
So you doing the pillow for it?
Yeah. If I need to,
If you need to.
it depends on how bad that argument was. I don't want to go to bed mad.
Okay.
But if I have to, I'm definitely putting up the pillow fort.
So I got a question, Blackberry. So do good D make it feel out make it a little bit better? If you mad and you upset, does if you get in the good D, does it make you think to yourself like, I mean, he made me mad, but shoot, I need what I
Not
need.
now. Not now. When I was younger, I would
Okay.
say that I put up with a lot of shit when I was younger. Um,
Okay.
Not now. I don't care. There's no good, pain in the world to make me compromise on what I want and the things I'm going for now. So no.
But you believe that it can uncompromise a woman's judgment.
Yeah, yeah. I could.
But I'm just saying we have to say that because see, the reason why I mention that is because a lot of women will say that it's unimportant. You know what I mean? And I can get that anytime. You know what I'm saying? You ain't heard the talking points,
Yeah, but
but I think it
then
needs to be
you
said.
gotta go out and find it. Like you gotta go find a replacement.
Mm.
If you're gotta have a replacement for that. And so like how many, pings do you want to try to replace it? But like I said, it's not even just like the peen, it's like the emotional connection. Like there was um for example, my ex fiance, everything was good in the sexual area.
Okay.
It couldn't even be too much at times. But
Mm. Okay.
the fact that I got turned off. You cheated on me.
Mm.
You did
Yeah, that
other
will turn a
things and
woman
then
off.
even before
That
that. Yeah,
will.
it's too much. It was too much that I was experiencing and I was turned off.
Okay. I got a rabbit hole. I'm gonna take you down. You
Oh
ready?
Lord.
You ready for it? This is my theory. I'm gonna give you my theory first. I'm gonna allow you to respond to it. Okay. So I have this theory. Listen to it, Sugar Bum. I'm gonna break it down to you right now so you can tell
Oh,
everybody
okay.
else to
Hold
tune
on.
in.
Yeah. My phone, I had lost connection. Oh shit. Did it do it again? Okay.
You
I
good?
think I'm
You
back.
ready? I ain't told you yet. But Sugar Bomb,
Okay.
here go right here. So this is the question I have. I have this theory where I believe that men have to be better in the bed than women have to be. Now the reason why I believe that, right, is because no matter anything that you learn, doesn't matter how good you wet you get, no matter how good you bounce it backwards, you slob on it, make it bubbles and all that. Don't matter. If I only last 5 minutes, if I don't understand how when you put your leg a certain way, how I need to be, all those different things, none of that matters. So when men go out and jump these body counts up and say, this is how many women I'm slaying, all of this different stuff, right? Well, then how come there's only 9 out of 10 women having orgasms? Wouldn't you believe that men, because they have the social standings to be the ones that's supposed to be promiscuous, so to say, right? How come he doesn't hold that with, as a L, hold that on his chin, as that's an L to men, and we need to collectively figure out why this is a problem.
No, that's your question. I don't. I'm
But I'm
not a
saying,
man.
what do you think? Because see, some women will say, right? Because I've had this conversation with multiple women, and some women will say, like, well, we gotta like what we like, and we gotta experience whatever it is we like for ourselves and stuff. And which I get all of that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Again, all the stuff that you may like, if I can't fulfill those things, because I'm the one that has to do the poking and prodding, and you know what I'm saying. So for me, men have to be the more experienced one, and technically, when you're shaming a woman about her experiences and this, that, and the third, it really speaks more on your experience. Like when men say, well, her body counts this much and that much, I don't think it matters if you know what you're doing, what a woman's body count is. It could be 1,000. If you know what you're doing, it will not matter.
And as long as everybody comes with a clean bill of health.
Exactly. Of course. That's always should be stated. A clean bill of health should always be maximum point. But as you say, you agree, and I agree with the same thing. Like that's what's supposed to be the standard. But that's why I think a lot of men are really terrible in bed. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to be honest and just and say it. Because if you notice on every panel, every guy, I be holding it down, doing it, but you literally every verse that you spew out is hatred towards women and how bad they are.
Right.
I
I'm
don't know how
trying
that
to
adds
figure
up.
out. I'm trying to figure out if it's a cross between the fact that they, or one or the other. But I think it might be a cross between the fact that they just don't care about women, having theirs,
Right?
and also uh, not being able to perform.
I agree. And that's why I think the bigger discussion is. And some of them be saying some weird stuff too that make you wonder if they really even like women. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and another thing I want to put out is that as women, we can tell because I was told this before. Um, I had a ex who, got who had a previous ex left me, got with, or didn't leave me, but we broke up. Um,
Okay.
because things just wasn't working out, and then got with the other ex, and how can I say this? Let's just say that they had a little bit more experience being with me and knew some different things. And the girl was pissed. Was like, oh, so this is what you was doing with that bitch. So yeah, you're on mute. Yeah. So yeah. So something, women be knowing like when you're with another woman because we could tell by your usual actions, and if you're with another woman and that woman's doing, and you learn some new shit and you try to bring it home. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah. So the question: who's the nastier gender, women or men? I say women are nastier than men ever thought about being.
No, I don't think so.
Why?
And I say that because first of all, porn. Porn is, which I don't mind, I actually like porn, right? But
Hmm.
porn is targeted towards men mostly.
Okay.
Who directs porn more is men. A
Okay.
lot of things that are happening in porn is through the eyes of men.
Okay.
So no, and if you look at the different genres of porn, I'm sorry. I think y'all some freaky motherfuckers. Y'all do some crazy shit. Like y'all, we might be into some things, but like I said, y'all the leaders in that industry, and and
Okay. Now let me
whoa,
ask you this question, right? Now the reason why I say that is because if you notice, men are like kind of like. Have you ever seen two dogs mating?
yeah, I tend to look away when something
But
like that
I'm
happens,
but I'm saying
but
you
yeah,
notice that it don't last long, right?
yeah.
So the point I'm making is men, they have it to in the point of they love the act. We love the act of it. But as for women, y'all actually think more than the act. Y'all think about the throbbing of it, or as I heard many women articulate, the head bouncing up and down inside of you and how euphoric that feels. Like it's different things that women think about within their minds in the act of wanting to do those particular acts that I believe makes y'all more freakier because as men, we don't really think it's more or less like she got a nice ass or she's sexy or I just want to whatever. It's not really like all of the nuances that women really think about in their heads when they and plus, y'all kind of articulate with your words. When y'all find men that can do the same thing, I think that y'all like that. But a lot of times, the women will send the text messages about all of how ready you would be if the person was there that was in question that you were in love with. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I get that, which is why I also like fantasy novels and stuff like that is meant for us. Um
Exactly. And as a
we,
writer, that's
we
exactly
think,
what.
yeah, we think more like that. Like we are more in our head about things.
Yeah. So that's
But
why I
y'all
think
some
it's a little
visual
bit.
stuff. I still think y'all do some strange
We just like the act of it.
shit.
Like we don't really know. Like with women, you don't really know what kind of man you're gonna get. Honestly, you can
Shoot,
get
y'all be
possibly.
having like secret relationships with cars and things like that, and oh man, sticking, y'all think things and dolls and all
Yeah,
types
men
of
do a
stuff.
lot. Men do a lot of weird stuff. I ain't never did none of that stuff, but I have heard of it before, and they ain't all of us. That's some, but I do agree. But if you want to go there, I can tell you the countless stories about women who I've given therapy to that go in the bathroom at work and they mess with themselves to get off so they can go back and do their job the right way and all that different stuff. So
Some
it
dude
goes
I
both
even
ways.
heard. Yes, I even heard. I think I saw it on the movie one time with Taraji.
No, this is be real
Where
life where
where
women
she
go.
went. I know, but I'm just saying I've seen it before. On that movie where she went. She before she had a date, she went and got herself off in the bathroom before she went on the date, so
Yeah, that's what I'm
that
saying.
there wouldn't be like any sort of like sexual tension or anything. And I don't know, I ain't never had that experience, so I can't speak on that. But I was like, what? I was like, you got to get yourself off before a date?
Yeah, I'm telling you, like men, they got this thing, right? Because I was saying earlier with the wedding scene, like men got this purity about y'all as women, where they like, my woman's so pure, like she don't want me to like just ravage her, so to say, not on no bad, but just like y'all in love, but he put his hand on your throat a little bit, do a little, you know what I'm saying? It's just not so vanilla. Like some men cannot get themselves out of that mindset. It's like, let me put it this way. When a man is a player like that, where he does do that to the women, right? Most men say, I'm retiring my jersey. Now, what is retirement in most people's mind? It's like, I'm retired. I'm just going to chill and relax. I'm just going, you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to do too
Exactly. You
much.
done.
Exactly. But he ain't thinking to himself, like, nah, I'm married. I did retire my jersey, but I still got to, like, still act like I'm going to the pickup game around the corner to play against some little niggas that think they know how to play ball. You see what I'm saying? Like I still gotta
Hmm.
have that mindset of a competitor still. I think a lot of men lose that, and we lose that in translation when we get to talking about the women and what y'all all doing, and because it makes money and because it brings a bunch of eyes and all of this, rather than this be the conversation that this is some of the stuff that men make mistakes on. And I've heard this multiple times from women.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm just on the. Go
Kalia,
ahead.
I think, am I pronouncing her name right? Kalia?
Uh huh. What?
Said maybe so she will not give it up on the date. But it's like I don't even know why you would be trying to give it up on the date. But
Look,
I
I'm gonna be
mean,
honest. See, Black Beauty. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you some stuff now. We all know that you look good, you fine, so you ain't gotta like niggas gonna wait for you. But in honest truth, women the same way how a man will say. This is why I always say these are two lies that men and women have. A man will lie and say, "I never had sex with a big woman." That'll be a man. All the women I ever hit, they all been 9 10s better. That's every man's lie. He gonna all say every man's gonna say that. But an actual real men know that you done hit some women that if we could actually see your whole body count of what every woman is gonna be some women in there that everybody gonna be like, hey bro, like what's up with this one? That's just the facts. Same thing goes for women. There's only a small sector of women that can honestly say, I've never given it to a guy on the first night. Those are both two lies that we will both tell. Not saying you did it, Black Beauty, but there's a lot of women who have done it on the first night. The vibe was cool. He did everything right. He smelled good. He looked good. The sun just hit the right way. He dropped his top on the shit. Whatever the scene, because women are by settings, so the setting can happen, and it happens that way. But it just happens, and those are two things that I believe that what I'm saying. Both us women and men lie about.
wait,
Now,
you
is it?
said that there was a small sector that I mean a small amount of people that do that or a large amount of people that
I'm
do that?
saying it's a small sector of women that probably can say they never have, but if women are
That
gonna completely
never
be
has.
honest, yeah, that completely be honest, then they'll say, yeah, it was some guy that shit, like I really liked him, I was mad, I was whatever, I felt like whatever, because y'all get in modes and do what y'all want to do when y'all get in them modes. Because at the end
I
of the
don't
day,
think that's a small amount. I think it might be random, like I don't know, but I think it might be close to like maybe half and half or whatever, but I don't see most. I
no,
don't
there's a
think.
lot
But
of
then again,
a
I
lot of
don't
women.
know.
A
I
lot
don't
of
know.
women want to have sex, like just like men do, and it be happening more times than not.
Hell
But
no.
women
No.
will get shamed for it.
I
So
mean, it
at
makes
the end of the
sense.
day, but it
I
happens.
mean, some of what you're saying makes sense. I mean,
And trust me, it happens. I'm telling you. Like, but it's just like I said, it's the two lies that all men are gonna say. Men are gonna say to you, every woman I ever messed with was bad. She was a 9 10, all that stuff. Now you even know that you done had some boyfriends that said something about their girlfriends, and you didn't seen a picture of a girlfriend or seen her, and then you like, oh, like this nigga, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna be honest with the shit. So we know that most men don't have a roster of just beautiful women all the time.
Oh yeah, no, hell no. My
So
fucking
so
ex
that's the point.
fiance cheated on me with a fucking bitch that looked like Jay Prince. I was pissed. So
All I can
yeah.
say is you get my point. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. But yeah,
No, I
that's
get
what I
it.
mean. So it's just two things that we talk about and lie about. But as I was saying, like for me, this is just like a grown folk conversation. So I always be thinking too, right? That I also think it's another perspective that women don't think about, right? That men have levels to the D. Now let's just say like you a woman that a man's not really interested in. He really don't, you know what I'm saying, really like you, like talking about, but as you know, men will have sex with anything. So you may not got the best experience from him because he's a thinking type man, right? He's like, if I go knee deep in her, then she gonna be blowing my phone up. She gonna be bothering me, blowing me up, coming to where I'm at, all that. You know what I'm saying? So he don't give you his best because of that. I think some women don't understand that aspect as well. And then the woman that he does really, you know what I'm saying, then he has it, you know, different type of energy for that. So the question begins to ask because there's some men, right, who they don't care about neither one of that. That particular man, that's what I was speaking of earlier, is like the player. Where that man, he has the energy of whether she's a big girl, she a one, if she a 10, it don't matter. If when I get the chance, you know what I'm saying? If she giving it to me, I'm gonna like go ankles in. You see what I'm saying? I'm
Mhm.
just saying though, like it's levels to that to this shit. Like I'm just having a real discussion because a lot of the times when they be hating on Pookie and Ray Ray and all of them, this be the particular things. You know what I'm saying? But I was saying like Pookie got to build on this as he goes, but it's a card he has in his pocket. Like whether women want to admit that it's important or not, like you said, back when you were younger, it wasn't important. Now you're much older. But at the end of the day, if you ever get out there and it happens, who knows how your emotions is gonna go? You know what I'm saying? Who knows how you gonna react to that happening to you because as they say, it's euphoric to a woman when that happens. So like euphoria is like is the equivalent of being on heroin or being on a high class drug and how that makes a person feel. That's the equivalent. So no one can know how anyone's gonna act when they say that it's euphoric in terms of brain activity. So I
I,
don't so I'm
I
just like you know what I'm
I stayed pretty consistent throughout my life. I mean, I've been. Who the hell is calling me? Sorry, I had a call. Anyway,
saying?
um, I stayed pretty consistent as far as uh, okay, the stupidity has definitely gone down. Um, that's definitely gone down. But as far as how can I say this? Because I won't put up with as much as I have before, and because that's like that I don't know, some that just don't mean a whole lot to me personally as a person. So I don't see anything changing for me in the future. I don't think I'm gonna go out and commit crimes just because I had some good deed that might have did something.
Right. I agree. With experience, it comes over that. But the whole thing is that I think that what we're trying, the narrative that was being pushed is just that women who are listening understand the power that it does have. You know what I'm saying? And I actually seen this happen one time, right? I'm gonna tell y'all a story. When I was at this trailer park, and at the trailer park, I was chilling over there,
Why the hell
and
was you at a trailer park? Is my first question.
well, I was at a trailer park because I was out there just handling a little business and all those different things. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the money,
Okay.
that's where the money's bees at. So that's where I bees at back in the day.
Okay. Never
So
said. Never said.
at, at the spot across the street, it was a trailer where there was this lady over there, and she was a young girl, and I guess she was messing with this lady husband. And I remember I was outside one day, and they was arguing outside, her and the girl, and she told her to leave her husband alone. It was an older lady, and then it was like she was a young girl. They was arguing. So then like a week go by or something, and I can remember I could hear the girl on the phone like pacing outside saying like, I don't give a fuck, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Pull up, I do whatever. Beat your ass, yada yada yada. So it hung up. About like 30 minutes later, the girl pulled up. I guess they was talking on the phone as they came. I don't know what happened, but as soon as the girl came outside, bow, bow, bow. I had to get up out of there, you know what I'm saying? Because police come around. I ain't trying to be where they be at, you know what I'm saying? But I heard about that on the news, and I was like right there. And I was like, damn. Like, but it can happen like that behind certain stuff. Like,
Did anybody get hurt?
hell yeah, the girl, she died out there. Like, it
Hold
was other
on.
people that
The
called the
one that was
police.
out there causing the trouble?
Yeah, the little young girl, the old girl came, pulled up with her revolver,
Oh,
and
well, she shouldn't have been her ass out there that day. I don't know what to say. No
yeah, I
well.
was like, all I heard was some
Sorry
yelling,
for her.
arguing, and bang, bang, and I was like, dang.
Sorry
I
for
was
her
like,
and her family. That
yeah,
that that
for real,
that
I promise. I was like, dang, I ain't know, but I was like, soon as I was like, I gotta get
listen,
up
she
out of here
shouldn't have been out
because
there. She had no business
exactly,
being outside that woman residence.
I mess with her husband, but that be the things that
Right.
that these particular things bring on. I'm just saying, like it does in a way play to me. That's why the point of the question is right. Is does it play part in a woman's happiness? I believe it does in a relationship. Like right now, it's not important, but I'm pretty sure if you met the man who you would deem as a good man for you in a relationship, that you would hope that him making sure you was happy in the bed was an important thing that he would want for y'all's relationship. He wouldn't just want to be like, well, your orgasm doesn't matter and shit, I'm just gonna get mine. And that's what y'all gonna have for however long y'all stay married. I don't think you're gonna be happy with that because this is what's narrative is being pushed. And obviously, like I said, the numbers is just showing as much
See,
just it's crazy.
for me, like okay, so and not just me, but for a lot of women, opinion size does not matter. It's what you can do with it. And also, I'm one of them women that's in the toys. So, baby, if you ain't got what it take, pick up a toy, use it, do something.
Mm.
So it's like there's other things we can do.
But
Hell,
I
buy
kind
a
of think
whole chair.
I
We could
kind of
buy
think
a
you can.
king.
But hold on, I kind of think you capping on the part where you said that size don't matter.
No, no, no. Lost my virginity to a very small one. Um, Even after that, had a small one as well, short and fat, but and I don't care about the length. Doesn't really matter to me as much. Um, but like I said, I am somebody that puts my emotion into it. It's all that.
All women do, not somebody. All women
I
put their emotions into it.
don't care about size really, as long as you know how to work with what you got, and if you're willing to if you're willing to play my game.
Mm. But what if he don't want to play your game?
Well,
What
then
if
we
he
ain't
won the
gonna support each
manly,
other.
manly? What if he won the manly man's? It's like, shoot, he's this thing. He got it. So I got another question. Will you be able to tell him? Because see, some women, right, is like yourself. They'll say, size is doesn't really matter. And even if a guy, let's say, as I've once been told by multiple women, that they get on top of you, you don't feel nothing. He done after however many strokes he gets, you don't feel anything. And then when he says he was the best and it was so good, you tell him it was. So are you the women that will be willing to be like, hey, baby, let me have a talk with you, you know, I'm gonna need you to use the toys and I'm gonna need you to do this, that, and the third because I'm, what I'm saying, not being fulfilled in that particular way. Would you be willing to say that?
I honestly got lucky after my first years of losing my virginity. I got lucky
Mm.
after that, but even then, toys were still introduced, and
Okay.
it was a matter of fun, I guess. So I was just like, "Yo, can we do this?"
Mm.
And that's all I had to say. And it was like, "Fuck yeah!" No pun intended.
But
But
okay,
yeah,
well, I'm glad you said that. So, who introduced the toys? Was it the man, or did you introduce the toys?
me.
Okay, okay, I hear you. So, when you introduced it, did he look at you strangely, or was he down for what you introduced?
It was like we can go to the adult video store right now.
Okay,
Whatever you
that well,
want.
that's actually solid. That you had a solid guy that could do that. Because, like I said, most
Yeah.
men just listening to you say this, they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that Black Beauty. That this is what women like. Oh my god, I can't." But not understanding women are human beings too. They like
Yeah,
what they
that would
like the
be a
same way
lie.
that you like what you like. So like,
Don't believe
no,
nothing
I'm
you hear
just
online.
yeah,
Those
I know.
men.
Yeah,
Yep.
I understand that. I mean, we don't got to have that discussion. Understand that we already have that context of understanding how you operate from what you broken down. But the point I'm making is that some men will not be okay with you wanting to have toys and wanting to do this and that. They're gonna want to know, did some other guy introduce toys, or why can't toys just be something that you like? Why can't it be something that you are interested in? Why it gotta be that some other guy introduced it to you? But us as men, we have an ego, and our ego says that some guy told you to use them toys. That's what it was,
Well,
and
that's
you
where
didn't
I'm
think
gonna
about it
come
on your
in.
own.
That's where I'm gonna come in and be like, okay, well, first of all, I don't really like to, have self experiences just by myself. So if it comes down to that, like I've been celibate for 3 years, going
Hmm.
on 4, and I've probably done it 3 times by myself.
Hmm.
Now, I will say, when it comes to somebody asking me, how come, why do I have to have the toys or whatever? Well, what's the difference? You watch women on porn do it. So you mean to
Right.
tell me if I sit here and do it in front of you, or if you're using it on me, it ain't gonna turn you on? No, you're intimidated by that toy. So something is wrong with you.
Hmm.
That toy is an accessory. It's not to replace you.
I totally agree. But as I said, we got males got egos. We got egos, and that'd be the problem. I think our egos is our downfall. How big our
Well,
egos
if
are.
somebody got ego, like if somebody is like that, then they don't need to be with me. Cause woo, I like to have fun. Shit, I ain't even got me a swing and a stripper pole yet.
But see,
Just
that's the
wait.
point I'm more going into. See what I'm saying? Men when they hear a woman say she wants a stripper pole and a swing, then that's the first initial thing that they be like, what? But a bunch of women want stripper poles and swings. Like when men begin to start trying to more open up their conversation with women, the more that we'll begin to understand that this is a lot of women's mindset, and it's not anything wrong with that. It's naturally probably been this way. Just women ain't really had a say. You know what I'm saying? And now they do, and we can't turn back. So we got to start embracing what y'all are telling us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I don't
oh,
think
hold up.
because you would never be able to have this type of conversation with none of the other people that's like in these type of spaces because they
Oh
would be
no.
willing like what for real, like no bro, this
Oh
is what
yeah.
you need to be listening to from women. This is what you
Right.
need to hear. You need to hear women telling you these things so you can understand like this is how women, a lot of women are, period. You're gonna have to learn how to like get out your ego enough to listen to it and understand it and try your best to meet the requirements that certain women have. That's what they like. And shit,
Right.
they like it like we like it. You know what I'm saying? So how you doing? What's the
Mhm.
weather like over there? It's hot.
I know it actually rained today. It was still nice, but it rained today. The weather was good though. Um, Kalia, yes, do it. Get into that. I'm telling you, it's gonna work your body out, and
What y'all talking
it's
about?
fun as hell. She was talking about doing some pole fitness
Hmm.
because it's not just that's not just for sex. Like I mean, like
I
not
get it.
sex, but you know what I mean. For sexual
Right.
benefit, it's actually fitness, and it's actually
I
a
under,
beautiful art.
I understand.
If you sit and watch it, like that is like it's art.
Yeah,
Like
I've been
it's
to a couple
hard
of
to
Vegas
do that.
shows where they be having them women that be all up on them poles and be spinning down, stopping, and going back up and stuff. Like, yeah, it's pretty interesting to see how they do that. I agree.
Yeah. What I used to be a bartender,
Hmm.
and a cocktail waitress. And it was at a strip club, but it was a topless strip club.
Okay.
And earlier in the day, before all the girls would get there, I would watch YouTube videos and I would teach myself
Hmm.
different moves. And it got to the point where I actually entered myself into competitions. And not
What places
only
you
did
in?
huh?
What places you
I
made it
won,
in?
I did two, and I did first and second.
Okay. Yeah, but that's the things that I think that like I said, if men really like want to really get to know women, you have to understand those are the type of things that when women are interested in them, you kind of gotta like like support it in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have the
Mhm.
conversation rather than a lot of the macho that we have going, where it's like, no, like I can't. You know what I'm saying? My woman can't think like that, or it's just different stuff. Like I was just pointing out, you know what I'm saying? And that's really what this live stream is all about, more or less than anything. It's just pointing those particular things out because I do think that if we're gonna get better, that we have to understand the importance of look how women hey they can't just be you know what I'm saying this uh, how do men want women to think? Men want women to think about it as in that you just make me a sandwich. You just after that you get some rest. You know what I'm saying? And whether you did got some or not doesn't matter because I'm just gonna be on top of you, pumping on you and all that. That's what I really hear more or less than anything. I don't really hear that men really want to please women and for them to be happy and all that different stuff. It's like y'all just supposed to just have babies and If you can't, then I'm gonna get a new wife or have two, three wives and all that different stuff. And not understanding that even for a man to even think like that, it would just take levels to even get to that point. And that's the problem, I believe, personally. And that's what I think that they want from y'all more than anything.
I saw a video where Nori, the rapper,
Hmm.
had it was, what was it? He was on it for some reason, but I don't know. But it was a clip, and it was with somebody else. I don't know if it was somebody part of his group or what. But that person and his wife was kind of like going at it, like they was having dialogue across the table,
Okay.
and he she was talking about, like how much, like, he cheated and stuff. And he said it was because when he grew up, or as he was growing up, his dad had like a whole other family as well.
Hmm.
And sometime his family went without to make sure, like the other family, or no, not went without, but had less. And then
Okay.
the other family had, everything like they wanted and stuff. And so he seemed to think in his head, he was like, well, as long as both families was taken care of and my mom never left. And he said it even happened with his grandmother. His grandmother never left. That it was something that was just acceptable. And so he didn't give his wife that option. And
Hmm.
so his wife was like, okay, well, that's the thing. You didn't give me the option. You just automatically assume that I was just going to stick with you through that. And that's not what I wanted to do. And that's not what I signed up for. I signed up to be with you. And so, yeah, it was just a thing. But it was just like, man, you always hear about that, about, Papa was a Rolling Stone, had all these different families and stuff. And like literally, he contradicted himself because he said his dad and his grandfather or whatever and his uncles were able to take care of these families. Okay, but why was it that you were able to go without some things and that the other family was able to have everything?
Correct. That's why I
Clearly
say it's levels.
wasn't able to provide.
That's why I say it's levels that many of the men need to be talking about. The levels that it takes. That if you are that man, then that means that neither family is supposed to be suffering if that's how you're going to operate. Because nobody can tell a man if he can manipulate his households that way, then you can't really say nothing about that. But what you can say is that if he can adequately take care of both households, then I mean, who is the judge? You know?
Um, the wife, because the wife didn't sign up for it.
Yeah, I mean that part is true. Yeah, but for Noriega's wife, but I mean for his yeah, I would agree with that as well. That is true. That if she didn't sign up for it and she didn't have a clear understanding of it, which that's a part of the other reasons why I think is men are not honest about their intentions of what they want up front, as they should be honest with women. So that I think some women, if it's not in what they want, they would just leave it alone. Other women, if they really like you a lot and you made an impression, then they may consider certain ideals just because they like you. You know what I'm saying? Just depends. But do believe that a lack of honesty amongst men is a big problem.
Women, stop hurting. Stop dealing with men that are married and getting pregnant by them. You're only hurting yourself and your children the most.
Yeah, I ain't never co-signed no shit like that. That's crazy if you when
No,
you just
but
brought that
because
in.
what he said, when the guy has said his family had to go, you know, without certain things, but the other family
Well,
got
yeah, that's
everything.
yeah, that's crazy. If he was married, yeah,
That
that's
showed me
bad.
that his mom was the side chick.
Damn.
That tells me
Yeah,
that
that's
your mom is
so
a side chick.
yeah, that's crazy. Like I just wish men didn't even do all that to all to begin with. That we can kind of like find some type of discipline within ourselves to not put kids in them type of situations. That's crazy. That's crazy that he was actually going through all of that. So what are
Yeah, and
you
it wasn't Nori, but it was some friend or somebody in his camp, I guess. I don't know. I didn't see the whole clip. I mean, I
right?
saw the clip, but I didn't see the whole episode of what it was. It was just on somebody's YouTube. So, and they talked about, like, they showed what they wanted to. So I didn't see the whole entire thing, but yeah, that was crazy. It's insane.
I totally agree. But yeah, that's a lot of the things that we fail to mention and when we talk about different things. I don't know if you caught my live stream yesterday that I had an interesting conversation with someone I haven't never talked to before. I forgot what her name is, but it was very
No,
interesting. And
I
we was
didn't see it.
yeah, it was pretty good. You should check it out on the playback. I definitely think it's a good live stream. So yeah. But we were talking about breaking down different aspects of just how men we don't really look at these particular things in women. We really don't like humanize the woman, so to say. If anything, we more or less like look at you as more pure than human, so to say, that you're not really like just as we are as men, as just as humans we are, have your likes, have your fetishes, have your vices. Um, these are conversations that y'all can't have and can't discuss with men. And it's one of those things that I think is a problem, in my opinion. I really do.
It is. We can't talk about a lot with certain men without them getting extremely upset. Or even some men tend to think that women, like for example, Bomb Cherry, is married and has been married for down there 30 years. Shit, down there as long as I've been alive. And they still think that she needs to respect them like she respects her husband. Like, fuck out of here with all that. Especially when you disrespect her. Why? Why would she be respecting you? Why would she bow down to you? Who are you? I don't get that.
I get what you're saying. Those are some of the things that I often as well wonder when it comes to these different conversations. I definitely do. That's why, like I said, this is what this live stream was just really about. It's just more or less that these are all the particular things where men don't want to care about women's feelings. Then you don't want to care about if they even get pleased in the bedroom. Then you see what I'm saying? Then you want them to have less money than what you should be making. Like what is it? You see what I'm saying? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? And that's what's just bothering me with this whole conversations that I've been hearing on through all these spaces, different conversations I'm hearing from different men. Just speaking of how women have to expect lackluster and they should be okay with it. And that men shouldn't be pressured into striving for more. Or why can't the man have self pressure to strive to be better in all things, whether that's professionally and taking over the world, and it's also in his own household and making sure that his woman is pleased and happy and all of these different things. I believe these are things that men should be holding themselves to a standard of. They always like to quote Kevin Samuels, right, Black Beauty? And Kevin Samuels saying men judge themselves on fighting and fucking. So, like, you see what I'm saying?
Right. This man died down there broke on Red Bull and with a stripper, or not a stripper, but whatever she is. I don't know what she is, so I'm just gonna say whatever she is.
Who knows? Because
No,
I seen the video of him and the man. So I don't even want to talk about it. But that's crazy. Like when it happened. But Daryl showed me the video, and I was like, damn.
yeah, but you telling other men like what to do and you downing women and
You
stuff.
and that's what it totally goes into, right? Because the fresh and fit dudes. There was another clip where they sent where Myron said that men give better BJs than women do. Like when I heard that, like I
Are
was
you
like, I'm
kidding me?
done. I swear, I heard it. Like they played it. Like Daryl played like 4 or 5 times because I kept telling him in the chat, like, bro, you got to play that back and forth because, like, I'm just saying, like, this is possibly why maybe they don't care about the woman's being satisfied and stuff because they don't like women, and we just need to have a discussion. So that's why, like, partially why this live stream is here is because, like, maybe the men can tell us, like when they react to this or come on the panels to be like, is that what's going on? Can we, like, because like some of the stuff we're hearing just doesn't seem like anything men would consider in their minds to even
Right.
be trying to talk to a woman. Some of the stuff that I'm hearing, like, so you really literally sit up and talk to women and tell them this? This is partially probably why your problem is existing. If you literally telling women this, saying, "Oh, well, you're a single mother, and I'm not going to take care of another man's kids," like some dumbass shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you're saying on the first date. That explains why. That explains why possibly that everything is not going in the direction that you would like. So I don't know, man. I'm just like I'm a little thrown off just by all these conversations. I'm like I keep hearing a bunch of talking points that don't make sense. Like that's what I said. Where I literally keep hearing this, and it just makes me wonder, like, how good in the bedroom are a lot of these men? And maybe that needs to be the conversation. I mean, why the guys want to do this on the back chat, and we're supposed to be keeping it real. We need to start having a discussion because those results show when guys keep saying that I don't get my plate, my women don't bring me my plate, stuff like that, that kind of makes me, you know what I'm saying? Like a little bit. I get to thinking like, like because if she was like really getting off, like so to say, like you probably most likely be getting your plate. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? And if she was like not getting that, and you may be making less money and a lot of different things, and that's possibly why you gotta get your own plate. It's just all kind of things that make me think that because I've never had that happen to me before. Like when I kept hearing this conversation, I'm like, wow, dudes actually got to get up and get their own plate and stuff. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't know, but the more I got to listening to different content and seeing how guys are talking about the women, I get to seeing why now. They don't want y'all to feel nothing. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about none. Golly, it just I feel for y'all. I be thinking about the younger women who's like Black Beauty, who's like in their 20s. I think about them often and wonder like what type of man are they gonna have if these what the men are being programmed to think.
Right. Like there's like I was thinking like I was like I wonder why like my daughter hasn't, started dating it. And we
Look, the
talk
crazy
about
thing,
everything.
you
And
touching on some points.
yeah, she doesn't want to.
I got nieces and nephews out the yin yang, and all my nieces don't have boyfriends. When you ask them about dating, it'd be like, I don't know, and just like I often wonder about that because I hear that story a lot from different parents of teenagers of daughters who they really ain't even had no real boyfriends like talking about and different stuff. Like you make them want like, okay, do you want to tell me, you
No.
know?
And it's because like the ones that they do see, like my daughter on her first day of school, no, it was the first week of school. A dude came in to the class and jumped on a girl.
Oh
And
Lord,
it was like the side girl that he was messing with.
damn,
And like nobody stopped it.
damn.
Like even the teacher. It was crazy. And then even after that, like there was other incidences. And my daughter is just like, whoa, like there was another incident with another girl, and she went after another girl because of a boy, and she attacked her with a razor. And it's like, what?
I don't know what's going on, but it seems like these younger kids losing their minds at these schools.
Yeah, so
Like, I can't hear you. You had one out. I
you
think.
like little coffee dates and go on, like go and get like bubble tea neighborhood and where we live and all that. But yeah, they don't fuck with other kids in the school.
Hmm, that's crazy. But I done seen a lot of them stories on the news too, like kids be spazzing out at the buses, on the buses and stuff. So I can get what you're saying. That's crazy that your daughter said she's seen that. That would make you kind of like, but I know it's like something going on with the younger generation. Like they ain't really like the women are like, I don't know these guys or something else. Like you know what I'm saying? Looking at it a little differently. So it makes you wonder. It really does. It makes you wonder about the future. Because I've heard the story a lot. I can say that for sure. So I don't know. But
Right.
what
And
I
we don't
do,
even like go to she doesn't even go to like a bad school in the neighborhood. Like this is a pretty good school. And our neighborhood is, not bad at all. Well, I kind of live like a mile or two away. So I will say that there has been things that happened around that school. So I will say that. Um, but it's not as bad as it sounds. Like, the stuff doesn't happen every day, but just for the fact that it's happening every once in a while is still crazy. Like it shouldn't be happening at all.
I know what you're saying, but I've often see the same stuff. It just makes you wonder, like. But I guess that I seen a TV show the other day. I don't know what it was, but she was telling the teenage child she had, right? She had did something. I forgot what it was, but she was telling her like, at your age right now, you think what you did is like the end of the world, but like later in life, you'll laugh at it because like it's just a small moment in time that when you get older, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think makes sense in the grand scheme of things. Because I don't really have any children to tell anybody how to raise children or whatever. But I just say that I guess when teenagers are doing certain stuff, you can just tell them like eventually you're gonna get 30 years old, you know what I'm saying, and be looking back on some of the things you thought was the end of the world at the time and be like, dang, because my daddy told me the same thing. At least I can lean on that, I guess, to give advice on. Say my dad told me the same thing when I used to be like thinking it was the end of the world on some shit, and he'd be like, "When you turn like 30, 25, you're gonna be looking back at this laughing." and think about how funny it is, and which I do sometimes think back to some of the shit and be laughing. So like he was right.
All right.
He was. But
Shit, and a
yeah,
lot of times you connect with people from all them years ago and be like, what the fuck were we fighting for? And then
true,
laugh about it.
true.
Like we didn't been through so much, and and that at the time just seemed like it was like the worst thing ever in life.
You used to be fighting in school.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No, I've never been suspended, gotten a referral, nothing.
So he was getting two shoes.
I was, and I was also captain of the cheerleading squad. Now I was amazing.
It was,
Mm-hmm. That was me.
and you was like,
My
"Go team, go."
show was, and my daughter
Did
is
y'all
following
was y'all
right in my
winning?
footsteps.
Did your
Hell
team
no.
win? So you
Hell
was doing all
no.
that cheering while I was getting beat.
I was a good ass sport. I was a very good. I was doing my job. Okay. I was doing my job. Now my daughter, she doesn't cheer, but she's on a dance team. So she's
Mm.
different. Yeah, she didn't end up going to my school because I didn't want her to go to my school because my school switched from being like a pretty good school to being one of the worst.
Oh.
So, and then and then the school she goes to went from being a not so good school to one of the best in the state. So sent her there, which her godmom was very happy because that's where her godmom went. So yeah, but she's doing extremely well there, and she's already taking college classes and all that. So yeah, she goes also to the college across the street.
Well, like you doing what you supposed to do as a mom, pushing her. You know what I'm saying? Do those things that need to be done so she can take care of herself in life, which is what we gotta do now. You know what I'm saying? So that's good that you preparing her for that, in my opinion.
Uh, yeah, definitely. You know, she told me the other day, and it made me like so happy. And I was like, "What? For real?" Uh, you know how kids like can't wait to get away from like their parents or they like family, like when they go off to college. I have never ever brought up the fact, that I would move to like where my daughter was or anything like that. Um, I actually had planned on moving to a couple different places in the South. Now, my daughter is looking at schools in the North and the South. And she was like, Mom, how would you feel if I told you that I would want you to come, like, move with me for like the first like year or two, like, like live like down the street or something? I was like, what? You want me to do that? She was like, yeah, I don't think I could do this without you. I was like, oh my
I already know you was like, oh my.
life going on. I'm will pick up and move. Yes. Already plan on doing it anyway. So yes, I will pick up. She was like all excited. She was like, okay. She was like, well, I'm gonna start looking at like the prices of the cost of living and this and that, and got all excited. I was like, wow. I thought she was like moving to get away from of us. Apparently, I'm special.
That's a good thing. Because when I went to college, I was trying to get away from my parents. So that's actually good that she want to be close by you. Because me, I was like Mississippi there, South Carolina. That's a bunch of states away. I'm out. I'm go. Because I could have went to Mississippi State, but I was like, that's in the same state. So I was like, yeah, that ain't gonna work at all because Mississippi State is in the same state as Mississippi. They gonna come bothering me. And I think it was another.
Oh
I
yeah.
think, huh?
I said, oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm out. So I went to Columbia. I had fun there though. It was fun. I like Columbia. It's a fun place. Um, but that's good though that you actually set her up. You know what I'm saying? And she following your footsteps. She's doing everything she needs to do. Seem like everything lined up for her. These are the type of things that you should be congratulated on. You know what I'm saying? Just like someone else who's listening who has the same thing going with her daughter in college as well. Like these are the same things that you should be congratulated on as well. To be a
Oh,
single mother,
congratulations, whoever you are.
facts,
Congratulations.
right? And to be a single mother to put your child through school, to you know what I'm saying, do all these different things. Like that's commendable, and I don't think a lot of black women get credit for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't. Not at all. No, which is crazy.
I know they just be saying y'all just be making babies and y'all don't be taking care of them and they all turn out bad and stuff and yada yada yada. But these are most of the stories that I hear. Like most of the time when I talk to black women, I hear them tell me about how their sons or daughters are getting ready to start something in school. They're getting ready to make a living doing something. You know what I'm saying? And all of these the stories that we don't hear a lot of the males promoting as they should be, rather than shaming the women, so to say. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear more of these stories than I hear of the bad stuff. I hear more women tell me they have 2, 3 kids and that, two of them in college and she getting the other one ready. And, I'll hear both of them stories. I don't really hear, that whenever a lot of the men are speaking to y'all, I don't think they even let you get this far for them to understand like what you have done and how you should be congratulated and how the story should be heard so that, you saying what you did for your daughter and also shouting out the other woman who's also done this as well. This can give other black women hope and saying that I have a child, but I can do the same thing with my children. You know what I'm saying? But instead,
Right.
they much rather shame and have entertain and blame. And these are the things we need to talk about at the
All
end of the
right.
day. Because there ain't no man's present and you doing that, you know, and you able to make that happen. So yeah, I'm actually glad to hear that. So do you have any closing statements? Because I'm gonna close it out at 2 hours and get some rest.
No, I was
So
just gonna say my daddy is actually calling like my real life daddy. Like if anybody weird is listening and being like, "What kind of daddy is she talking about?" It's my daddy. He's calling me right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer his or call him back. I declined it, so I'm gonna call him back.
okay, yeah, make sure you do that. Call pops. I'm definitely gonna be talking to mine tomorrow for sure. But I talk to my dad every Sunday. So yeah, go ahead and take care of pops. I appreciate you for coming on to the panel. I thank you very much.
Of course, you know I got you. Every time I see you online, I'm gonna come up.
All right, I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, enjoy your night.
You too.
So yeah, everybody. I greatly appreciate you for tuning into the stream. I think we got some good conversation going in. I thought, we'll have more people wanting to talk, but either way, it is what it is. We ain't, tripping. We do what we do over here. There's plenty of other different subjects that we're gonna have, but I just think this is one of the important ones more than anything. That, as I said, we as men should be discussing more, less than a lot of the shaming, a lot of the complaining. These are all things that I think are very important. It's no way that we can go around promoting as men saying um, a woman's orgasm doesn't matter. And although in the grand scheme of things, biologically, I guess you can make a point for that, but we're human beings at the end of the day. So why do we have to go to all those different avenues rather than just what avenue has always worked? So I think that we need to do that more. I mean, it just shows how much the comfort is, right? Like my last live stream before this one, talking about Adam and Eve. Um, Clearly, for people who read the scriptures and stuff like that, we're thinking, right? Where, yeah, it probably was Adam's fault and he ate the fruit when he probably wasn't supposed to, all of that different stuff, right? But in the grand scheme of that, on the next page, it says that Adam made love to his wife. He comforted his wife. Many times you hear, if you read it, it says he comforted his wife. So these are particular things that as men, we're supposed to take pride in as something that we have in our tool bag, so to say. And if we keep hearing rhetoric being spoken like this to other males, and that we're literally not willing to sit down and really have those genuine conversations about this, like how we just had, me and Black Beauty, just a grown folks conversation about these specific different things. It was other different things we got into that, I mean, at the end of the day, that's how it's going to work. But overall, at the end of the day, there's an importance to this. I mean, it just is. And the men who hunker this down and try to understand it and is able to, in his own particular way, be able to hone that particular energy of that woman, the men who figure that out are the men who last longer. The men who do not try to figure that out are the men that are complaining, because these are things that we have to do as men. It just is what it is. It's a tough world. It's tough being men. Got to conquer the world, conquer the home, be a leader. Can't cry, can't this, can't that. I get all that. These are all little things that we have. I understand it. I do. But at the end of the day, that's where we're at in life. That's where we're at in the times. These particular things will not change. I know that you would think that they would, but I think these rules have been set in standard for a long time. At the end of the day, what has changed is the dynamic that women now have a say-so. They now have a say-so. As men, we have to accept that. We have to accept that now they can be outspoken. And a lot of the stuff they're saying is very true. And it's a conversation that we must sit down and have amongst men, because we know we may not want to say it, but we know, and we got to start saying it. There's a reason why Yvette made the tacos for Jody. It's the reason why. Those are the particular things that we must discuss. Part of the reason why it is like this, because we have a refusal to discuss it. We can't keep fearing it. And like from now on, when I'm on, like if I do get back on panels and stuff, when I do get on, I'm gonna start hearing all this. I'm gonna start asking them specific questions. I'm gonna come straight right into that doorway, because we need to start having it. If it's continuously arguing and complaining about what the women isn't doing, I think partially, 50% of it, maybe even higher, depending on the woman, has something to do with it. And we just got to start getting to the bottom of it. I'm sorry, but that's what we got to start doing. So then we can start getting to genuine conversation. If we can start, quashing the little circular conversations, then we'll be able to move on to better conversations and really be able to get some work done with these particular things, because if we're about solutions, that's the way that we get solutions. I appreciate you again for tuning in. I'm actually pretty good with the live stream. I think it's good. In the comments, tell me what you think and what your thoughts are on the perspectives that I've given. Facebook, I appreciate you for tuning in. I mean, you know, just gonna be honest. We all humans, right? I appreciate it again. I'm out.